Hello everybody, let's have a look at some of these coins then, shall we? We'll work out if this is an alt season or if it's just a rally like I kind of expected it to be. Is it going to become a season, or are these profits basically going to get swallowed back up by Bitcoin? Let's have a look, shall we? So this is the Bitcoin chart, okay? So the Bitcoin chart with a fib retracement on from the parabolic top all the way down to the tiny little piece of the bottom right there. Basically stating that, I mean, well, first of all, there's this blue box territory here where I thought that the top was going to come in. Essentially on the first pass, we basically just about managed to get it just a little bit over. So not blowing my own trumpet, but a reasonably accurate depiction of what I considered to be the absolute top. However, in the early hours of the morning, it shot right up above there. So what did that do to these indicators? Well, not an enormous amount of damage, in all fairness. There is plenty more room for it to go. Well, not plenty more room for it to go, but it can still reach higher. So we could see this area being topped again, and we could probably get to the top of this fib retracement, bringing us in at around about 16,219. So that could be Bitcoin's future, definitely, in the short term. A retracement will probably come back down into this area here around 14,888 in this blue box area, and if that turns to support, then yes, this area will be tested, and then that will become, I suppose, the future area to look for. Breaking above the 16,267 could lead Bitcoin to an all-time high, a new all-time, basically over $20,000. That could happen. Now we're sailing way up into the sky with this 10 exponential moving average, finding support on it every time we come down to test it, launching from it. Basically every single wick gets bought back up when it comes down to test it. So if we were to break down, then yeah, that would be the lowest I'd ever expect it to go, until it gets broken, obviously. But for the moment, I still think this has got another move ahead of it. I think it could come up and test that 16,200 and whatever. Let's have a look at the dominance chart. In fact, let's have a quick look at the Dixie chart, shall we? Dixie breaking down once again from the center of this Bollinger Band here on the weekly, coming down into the area of I suppose support, but not that it really is providing a great deal. We can come all the way down to 91.60 and probably even a bit lower. As you can see, the MACD on the weekly is converging, and that's not a good sign, and it's pretty bearish here on the daily. However, this could provide a little temporary little bounce for us at the moment, bringing us back up to around about 93.25. But I wouldn't get your hopes up too much on this. This could just drop and fall out and go all the way down to 91. So, what does this mean for alts? Alts, most of these are feeling a little topped out at the moment. So XRP reached right to the top of the Bollinger Band there on the daily. As I said yesterday, you know, this chart is looking good to move, certainly, but not really for another about 10 days or so till we've cleared this Ichimoku cloud. Now, obviously, if we broke out and above that Ichimoku cloud, then yeah, the moves can be had. But while we're in it or under it, I'm not really looking for any kind of significant rally. I think that'll be about it for now. We'll be looking for about 10 days of sideways price action. After 10 days, then it will pretty much get the green light in the form of this cloud to begin another rally. But for the moment, I think that is pretty much it for the moment. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is the same kind of deal, but definitely a lot stronger, being brought on by the fact that Ethereum 2.0 maybe getting released at some point in the very short term future. But as far as the chart's concerned, it's looking okay. I mean, there's nothing to say that it's going to go absolutely ballistic from this point, but it's looking okay. Again, I feel like this may have been topped for the moment. I don't think we've got a lot further to go. I'm not by any means suggesting short any of this sort of stuff at the moment, not at all. You could obviously risk that, but it'd be too risky for me. SXP coming back from the dead, but it's got a long way to go before it's really made any kind of significant reversal. Not even made it to the center of the Bollinger Band, even though it's had a really good move, clearly, on just today's candle body. Or that'd be about 10% or so. Oh no, more than that, 15, almost 16%, just in one today. But having a bit of a retracement now, and I would expect a retracement to continue. If we can stay above this this orange line here, which is the 10 exponential moving average, if we can stay above there, then it has every chance to start to make good continuation. Now let's have a look at something interesting for this one. We'll do a fib retracement from the absolute top here all the way down to what would be so far, and I'm not saying that this is it, this is so far the bottom. This would be it's going to take a great deal of effort for us to really make any sizable moves. We've got all the way up here up to $1.72, where we're probably going to struggle to get to that level. I mean, that is a big move even from where we are right now. If we were to try and make that move, that would be basically 90%, and probably get rejection from there. You can see that roughly speaking we found ourselves getting supported and rejected from that level, and I would expect that even with that big move, if we ever get there, that would be pretty hardcore to get through. And if we have a look at the Ichimoku cloud, it's pretty strong, pretty red, and pretty down facing. That will also provide resistance too. So I think in this instance, it's obviously one of those coins that might be worth holding for the long term if you don't mind doing that kind of thing. But also, I'd probably think about taking profits where they are, and that's how I'm going to play this one. Take profits as and when you get these big moves, because it's likely to retrace. However, you know, that was a big move, and if we can prove to stay above this 10 exponential, then yeah, I think we could rise all the way up to $1.30. But for the moment, you know, we're still beneath the Bollinger Band. You know, this is very early days for SXP, very early days indeed. Uni token, it doesn't look like much, but that's a big deal. In a 24-hour period, right from this bottom all the way to this top, that's a 50% move. Now I saw this one come in, not to that extent, but I saw a big move coming for this bad boy. Again, rejected on the center of the Bollinger Band. I think this one's pretty much topped out for the moment. I'm not at all suggesting short this at all, but like I say, if you go back in time, maybe about 4 or 5 days ago, I did say that we're looking to pretty much put in a bottom and that the big moves will start to take place. And again, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I seem to have got a lot of these predictions right currently. So again, this one's topped out for the moment. Breaking above that Bollinger Band there though, absolute beauty. That could be an absolute beauty. Measure all that from the top, from there to here, that would be another 28% move. No problem at all. If we were to reclaim that Bollinger Band there, then that's what we'd be looking at. Now, the good news would be that the histogram has made a decent sized tick up. Obviously, the RSI is right down here, and you can see that this was a decent buy signal within itself. When you get a money flow index this low, a read this low, it doesn't mean it can't come down lower. It certainly can, but it's not very often that you get signals that low, and that almost on in itself, coupled with the fact that the RSI is also very low, would, you know, to me spell out the fact that this one is ready to make a move. I didn't expect a 50% move though. I did a decent long on this one on Bityard, and basically turned $500 into $2,000 in a few hours. So really decent move, and I only played a tiny portion of that. Again, another call that I did make. I made this a few days, maybe 4 or 5 days ago again. People were asking me to make videos on Matic because I used to do it quite regularly. I said, basically leave this one to fall. It will fall definitely, and if there is going to be a buyback area, it's going to be at $1.20. If only, it's going to be at 1.2 cent, which is basically where it bounced. The reason that bounces from there is because it always bounces from there. We've got 1.2 cent bounce, 1.2 cent bounce, 1.2 cent bounce, then this ultimate launching pad, 1.2 cent bounce all the way up, a massive fall all the way back down to 1.2 cent basically, 1.2 cent, again 1.2 cent there. It's just over and over and over and over and over again 1.2 cent. So 1.2 cent is Matic's favourite number. I'm not saying that we're going to launch any further from here. We could, because Matic does do that kind of thing, but again, it's trending like all the others. It's done its bottom, and it's made its move. It's been, at the moment, it's been rejected from the center of the Bollinger Band on the daily. I don't have any reason to suggest that this is going to continue, but it certainly could do, definitely could do. But I'm not saying it's going to. I'm also not saying short it. But again, another good call from me there. RSI certainly way oversold there. Money flow index actually not putting in a basey bottom. So yeah, this could go either way at the moment. We have to keep our eyes peeled and our eyes on the prize. But yeah, another good call from me there. Sorry, I feel like I'm just gloating at the moment. But you have to go back and watch some of my videos, and you'll realise that all these areas have been called by me, and it's been a very good couple of days. And finally, my new sort of favourite little toy, which is Ocean. I'm not saying that this is anything special. I've just been enjoying trading it recently. So basically, this one, a chart very much different to the rest, but the reason for that is because it's a very short, small chart. We don't have a great deal to go on, but what we do have to go on is that it likes to ride the centre of the Bollinger Band, and it's above the centre of the Bollinger Band. So very different to all of these other coins, and the fact that it's poised in a slightly more bullish way. The problem that could cause is that if we do come down to test it and we break down from it, it would be pretty nasty. So it's you're really kind of playing with fire with this one. However, fire can be fun, and we want to try and make the most out of it. So at the moment, the good thing is that yes, we bounced once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times from the center of the Bollinger Band. Nice wicks each time. No higher high as yet, but look where we bounced from this time. It's the 10 exponential moving average. Reclaiming that, if we can reclaim that and we keep this positive slope on there, we can forget about the center of the Bollinger Band and we can play off this instead, which would be a lot better, because a moving average of a 10 exponential is going to be fast, a lot steeper, a lot quicker than the center of a Bollinger Band, meaning that the upwards momentum will be faster, and if that is our support for now, this will be the launching pad. Every time we consolidate or take a dump, it will come down to this level instead of this one, and there's not much between them at the moment, but if this continues over the next few days, next few weeks, these will diverge away from each other so fast, and so that actually the gains could be pretty big. Now, we don't have a massive amount of chart history to go by. In fact, I don't really think that there's anything that can be done to chart out any kind of formation here. We could look at something like this, but even that isn't really appropriate. An upwards facing channel, currently all candles closing within the center of it, but the wicks, and I've measured this with wicks, the wicks are stepping down. So if this were to be accurate, that is very steep, and I do not think that is the trajectory that we're going to find ourselves. However, I do like this chart for the moment. So long as we're above that 10 exponential, I have no reason to feel that we're going to be crashing down beneath the center of the Bollinger Band, at least. Anyway, I think it looks still relatively strong, but again, it's different. It's very different to the rest of these coins, where we've got super lows here, super lows here. Again, same with this, same with this. We don't have that with this. We've kind of got highs forming here, so it's definitely in this instance, and in fact in every instance, worth to try and take profit and wait for pullbacks. This one has clearly had a decent, it's like a 2x or more, hasn't it, from this bottom to here. Yeah, it's a 2.5x basically. So we could be, what's happening now is we could be consolidating from that, and so we may break down. But at the moment, the chart for Ocean is looking pretty good, definitely for the short term anyway. And finally, let's have a quick look at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance, as I've seen a lot of people put in this channel, my channel I've charted slightly different to everybody else's, and people believe there to be and they could be right, that 66 is the top, and this is where Bitcoin dominance will fall back down. I don't think that's the case, because what we're looking at here is a very bullish looking chart. The MACD is making very big moves here. The histogram's very fast approaching. I think we're going to reach all the way up to 68 before anything of any real alt season begins. I think what we're seeing now is relief rallies, but if there is continuation with these moves, then we will see a bigger pullback. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Thank you for watching, and have a nice evening. Take care.